Making some last minute adjustments. There we go. What happened? Well, cock gobbler. That's what happened. Jack Lamb turned into a cock gobbler. Give it a couple minutes, let some more people go ahead and get logged in here. Motherfucking rowdy. Let's see here. Wait a few minutes here, see what we can get done. I like the way you talk. Mr. Paul Paris, how are you doing, brother? Rhodey, how you doing? We're going to give it one more minute and then we're going to get started, boys. Let's see here. Uh-oh, we lost a couple. There they are. There, we got them back. So, anybody have any big plans for the weekend? No? Some of them French fried potatoes? Some people call it Kaiser blade. What do I want to do? Hookers and blow. What else? Chasing Jan around the coffee roaster with your pants down. Which would explain why she's running. This shit makes me laugh. And cheering about your ability to hold that voice and make your stump talk at the same time. Well, let me tell you, it takes a pretty considerable amount of concentration. But fuck it. Butt fuck. It's the only way she's safe. Do you pour coffee beans on her when you guys are humping? Or is she more of a decaf kind of girl? All right, fellas, here we go. Okay, you patron saints of the totally fucked, let's have a safety brief. We're going to talk about finances, anal alcohol consumption, midget three-ways, and how Rachel Chapman is a total fucking nerd. So, finances. Now here lately, we've been getting lots of requests for financial aid. And while we wish we could help everyone, please remember that this is a page about suicide prevention and taking care of each other. There are lots and lots and lots of organizations out there that provide financial aid for veterans in need, or active duty, or reservists, or what have you. So please, exercise all other options before coming to us. That and we're broke most of the time. Learn to budget. Budgeting is important. You gotta have a plan. Know where your money's going and know when to cut out the shit you don't need. In other words, if you're worried about paying rent, then maybe those hookers and that blow isn't the best idea. Even if she is super hot and lets you put it in her butt. Prioritize. Set your priorities. Make sure you know exactly what it is that needs to get done first, middle, and last. If you know the water bill can wait a few weeks to get paid, but the rent bill can't, what do you do first? Prioritize. Take care of the things you need before you start going out and getting the things you want. And lastly, thanks to good old Dave Ramsey, the debt snowball. Now, the debt snowball is a financial management concept, not a pornographic act for you sick fucks out there. Checklam. What it basically means is you find the bill that's going to get paid off the soonest and give you the biggest financial gain, and you do everything you can to pay that bill off. And once it's paid off, instead of enjoying your newfound extra money, you roll that money straight on to the next most important bill. And you continue to do so until you're out of bills. Debt snowball. Learn it, live it, love it. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about something truly fucking sick. Anal alcohol consumption. First and foremost, you are some sick motherfuckers for coming up with this shit. Because I know that nobody just was sitting around thinking, man, I wonder what the dangers of drinking in your butt is. One of you motherfuckers have tried it, and now you want to bring it up like it's all innocent and shit. You're not fooling anyone, especially the captain. So let me give you my take on anal alcohol consumption. Listen, it's only acceptable if you're trying to get your gerbil drunk. Or if you're trying to get your wife drunk in a hurry for a night full of butt stuff. So again, unless you just like things in your butt, don't drink with your butt. This isn't South Park. We don't eat through our asses and shit out our mouths. You nasty, nasty, sick fuck. Whoever came up with that shit. Alright, moving on. Midget three-ways. Now, this is something old Captain Stumpy might have a little experience in. Little. So, there I was. My first port visit in Thailand. And of course, you know, Captain Stumpy being Captain Stumpy needed to get his dick wet. So Captain Stumpy went to the whorehouse. And they marched them whores out in front of Captain Stumpy, and down at the very end, something caught my eye. Something unusual. And so I walked down the line of whores, and sure enough, it wasn't a mistake. I thought maybe at first it might have been a kid, like one of the whores had her kid at work or something. Take your daughter to your whore job day. But no, it was a little Thai hooker. Little Thai hooker. Well, I'm sure you can all imagine how this turned out. And there's some things that I can tell you about having sex with a midget. First and foremost, baby steps. Not just for her, but for you too. You have to take everything extra slow because she's little and fragile and not equipped for a full-sized penis. Some of you won't have issues with that. Second, the sex is terrible. Just absolutely god-awful terrible. I wouldn't recommend it, short of the fact that it gives you the best story ever. Think about that for a minute. Think about the most depraved, nasty, debaucherous act you've ever committed in your entire life. And I guarantee it doesn't beat I fucked a midget. Well, realistically, the only thing that beats I fucked a midget is I fucked two midgets. In which case, my hat's off to you, good sir. And don't forget that a midget hooker actually costs more. You can get a regular-sized hooker for half the price, but you get a half-size hooker for twice the price. I guess it has something to do with, like, the rarity of midgets becoming hookers or something. I don't know. Either way, you know, terrible sex, but worth it. It's an experience. And lastly, Rachel Chapman is a fucking nerd. Now, let me tell you a little bit about why Rachel Chapman is a fucking nerd. First and foremost, she has the worst jokes known to man. Like, there are bad jokes, and then there are Rachel Chapman jokes. Dear God, please let none of us ever have to sit through another Rachel Chapman joke. She has a dry-ass sense of humor. Now, if you don't know or understand what I mean by that, you'll just have to ask her to tell you one of her jokes, and then you'll understand all too well. She's a bookworm. Her favorite thing to do is sit on the couch and read a book. She would rather read books than any other activity, which works out not in Captain Stumpy's favor. And, you know, the source of her nerdness, when Rachel Chapman first entered the Navy, she was a fucking nuke. A fucking nuke. And that should tell you everything you need to know about why Rachel Chapman, the bookworm, terrible sense of humor, bad joke telling nerd, is the nerd that she is. All right. So, page announcements. The Dick Butt Raffle. I know I've been plugging the Dick Butt Raffle for coming up on 2 months now. But it would seem we've hit a rough patch or a dry patch in the Dick Butt Raffle, and we're going to have to put it on hold for a bit. Now, I know all of you were ready and raring to go about getting to pay for the chance to put a giant dick on Timothy Rhodes' body somewhere. And if you still are up for it, by all means, message the admins. Message Clint Engel. If we get enough messages of people saying that they're willing to purchase tickets, then we may be able to bring the Dick Butt Raffle ahead of schedule. Coins. We're thinking about ordering more coins. But we'll only order more coins if we have demand. So, any of you out there that still want an official Military Dickheads coin, be sure to message an admin or Clint Engel himself. Patches. We have patches. Well, we've ordered patches. So your official Military Dickhead patch will be available very soon. So be thinking when you're doing that budgeting and that planning and that prioritizing that you're going to need to get yourself a Military Dickheads patch. Also, shirts, hats, and hoodies. If you do not have a Military Dickhead shirt, hat, or a hoodie, you need to get on that shit, mate. That's unacceptable. Fuck! Ah! Not again! Oh. Suddenly I kind of look like a penis. I got one eye. Fucking bullshit! My fucking eye! Alright. Against my better judgment, I'm not going to go to the hospital to get my eye fixed. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to some Q&A. So if you have questions for Captain Stumpy, or if you just have questions about the page, please ask them now. What you got for me, you fuckers? Would my one eye have an ass? Always my fucking eyes. He just made Rachel horny. Doubtful, Jack. Doubtful. One-eyed, purple-headed yogurt slinger. Well, red-headed, maybe. Notice I'm a little red in the head there. You didn't answer the question about the midgets counting as a threesome. Listen, if you can get 2 midgets into your bed it's a threesome. Because there's two vaginas or two buttholes or two dicks, depending upon, what your preference is. It's spring. Who needs a hoodie now? Everybody! Everybody needs a hoodie. It's good for you. It's good for me. Weekend plans, Captain Cyclops. Justin Honeywell, I'm refusing to answer that until you can address me as Captain. We'll make her read sex books. You do. Captain Stumpy can't read. The fuck is wrong with you, Jack? I just look at the pictures and beat off. Caption Cyclops. What the fuck, shipmate? Dolt? Okay. Dolt. Not do, dumbass. Yeah, you lost me there, buddy. All right, so any more questions for Captain Stumpy? Logan and I. Not you too, Rowdy. Damn it. Autocorrect is kicking y'all's ass today. And you wonder why I left my ass off. So nobody has any more questions for old Captain Stumpy. Of course I read Jack's comment incorrectly. I only got one fucking eye. I've got no depth perception. What did you expect? Brian Hines. You're a little late to the party, but I'll take it. Bar etiquette versus church etiquette. Listen, since you can technically drink at both places, I don't know that there's, the etiquette's much different. Other than one, you have to keep your pants on. But generally speaking, you have to listen to some holier-than-thou type sit there and try and lecture about some dumb shit that you generally don't care or understand. So, bar and church, same place. Who's that weird dude peeking out behind you? I don't know, Rachel Chapman. Who's that weird dude peeking out behind you? Dead hoe extraction plan. See, now this is something that coincides with the midget three-way. Listen, if you forgot to take the baby steps and you accidentally spear a dead hooker to death, or a midget hooker to death, then you need to have a body disposal plan. Okay? So, be thinking about that. I recommend dissolving the body in sulfuric acid, or maybe burying it with some lime or something. I don't know. Chopping it up into little pieces and feeding it to animals. Something. Just make sure you've got a plan going into it, because you never know when a midget hooker's going to croak. Shower curtains and power saws. That's right, Jack Lamb. That's how we roll. Just remember, the most important thing about getting rid of a body is the transportation of said body. Weird guy poking out behind Rachel. Captain Stumpy, do we need to hurt someone? We got you, fam. Appreciate it there, Mr. Honeywell. But I got 99 problems. And a sausage grinder. What are you going to do, Rowdy? You going to eat the hooker after you kill her with your dick? I speared her to death with my dick, and then I cooked her with some eggs. How do you season hooker? That's a good question. We might have to go over that in the next safety brief. All right. Any more questions? Caption Stumpy. See, there's one of those stupid fucking jokes again. fucking Rachel Chapman. Over easy. Favorite beans and a good Chianti. Seasonal. Tastes like eggs. All right. So let me ask you this. If it's a midget hooker that you're having to cook and whatnot, cook and consume, is it considered like a lunch portion or a dinner portion? Salt, pepper, and fennel. All right. You know, little chickens. Lunch, bro. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking she'd only be a half portion. You know, if it was a full-size hooker, then it'd be a dinner. Fun-sized. Oh, by the way, for all of you that, you know, have that dream of, ooh, I'm going to get a midget hooker, and then I'm going to spin her like a top. I hate to break it to you. They're top-heavy. They don't spin. They fall over. I guess fried midget hooker would be a whole new edition of mid-rats. However, for those of you interested in spinning Thai pussy, I have a story I could tell. But I'll save it for next week. So if there's no more questions, give it some time for a delay. Going once. Going twice. So weeble wobble when they have a sick in 'em? Yeah, Captain Stumpy lost an eye. Happens more often than I'd like to admit. I do have time to tell the story now, but I'm going to tell it later. I'm going to tell it next week. So all of you be sure to tune in next week for another captivating episode of Captain Stumpy Does Hookers in Thailand. And on that note, always remember, dickheads gonna be dickheads. Pieces of shit are gonna get removed. And only we truly understand each other. So let's do what we can to build each other up and not tear each other down. 22 is too many. All right, Captain Stumpy, out!